Colin had a problem and a microphone to spare. Thomas took it up and so the podcast went to air. For weeks and months they trolled through every single DVD. They've unwrapped all the ones they can and now they're cellulose free. Now they're cellulose free.
Hello dear listener and welcome to Cellulose Free. My name is Colin and with me as always is my fellow film watcher, compadre and son Thomas.
Hi, hello.
How you been?
Not great. It's not been a good week for getting a good night's sleep. It's been a good week for lying down in a bed and not sleeping. If that's something you're into, which I'm not particularly.
I'm not sure whether insomnia is hereditary, but both your mother and your father suffer from insomnia. So,
yeah. Last night was good.
Yeah, I was going to say, last night you didn't make an appearance for a very, very long time. So I was hoping that your walk from yesterday was enough to... It was yesterday you went for a walk, wasn't it?
No, it was Monday, apparently.
Was it?
I had to check for myself. Apparently it was Monday.
Oh, dear. What day is it today? It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
Isn't it? Okay. So even after that walk, you had a bad Tuesday. A bad Monday night, Tuesday morning. But last night, it all finally caught up with you.
Apparently.
Good. Excellent. Hopefully that is a sign of things to come.
I checked that it was Monday by looking at my bank account.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you walked far enough to spend money?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Right, good. Which you are now able to do because I have had one of our dear listeners ask whether we found a solution to you being able to...
Yes, yes. The solution...
Sign in.
The solution was a shared phone that only I have used so far.
And that may well be the case, but it is there, and it is set up in such a way that when it's not being used, it's not devouring any credit, and the credit...
Probably.
As long as you make sure that the data is turned off.
Oh, yeah. I've made sure the data is turned off.
Yeah.
But... when I looked,
yes,
after having used the data once, before I went on my walk on Monday, apparently it was Monday.
Right.
Who's to say, really, what time is? When I looked, it appeared that it had used 2 days of data, and I'm not quite sure what happened there.
Okay.
But this is largely irrelevant.
That is right. But you have certain freedoms granted unto you once more. You are no longer a prisoner in your own home or somebody else's home. Yes. So we let him out into the backyard occasionally.
I'm not a number. I am a free man.
Yeah. Anything else you've been up to? Did you spend your money on anything interesting?
No, not really.
KFC?
No.
Wow.
Went to Domino's and had a pizza and regretted it on the way back. But that's neither here nor there. It's between on the bus that I only went halfway on.
Sorry? You only went halfway on the bus?
Forget about it. It's not relevant. None of this is relevant.
Hang on, did you have to get off the bus to throw up?
No.
Right.
I had to get off the bus to not throw up.
Oh, okay.
I was standing on the bus,
yes,
and I was sideways on the bus.
Oh,
so
not a good move.
No,
right,
not great.
Good.
Partly because I wanted the feeling of a wall against my back.
Yes. Okay.
But, that didn't turn out so well. And so I ended up walking up the hill.
Right.
It happens. Yeah.
Anything else interesting you've been up to?
Been watching the Olympics. They have been the Olympics.
They have.
Yep.
Have you been adding to the virtual cheering?
I've not, no.
Right.
No, seems like a bit of a waste of time, really. Because my time's so valuable.
Absolutely, yes. I have not been up to much at all either. The fortnightly plasma donation, the fortnightly catching up with one of our dear listeners. That's about it.
Yeah, and baseball is now on a long break after the sun blew up and a black hole ate the league.
Good.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Good. Bye-bye baseball for...
It's elsewhere.
That's right. Good. Speaking of our valuable time, we have a film to watch.
We do.
That's fairly lengthy. I was surprised at how long it is, considering what I know about it, which is actually very little. It suddenly dawned on me this week that all I really know about this film is from the talk of whenever anyone sees a large flock of any type of avian beast, and some memes and some gifs or gifs or gifs. Yeah. What are we watching today?
We are watching The Birds.
So, what is the plot of the 1963 Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds?
Chic socialite Melanie Daniels enjoys a passing flirtation with an eligible attorney in a San Francisco pet shop and, on an impulse, follows him to his hometown bearing a gift of lovebirds. But upon her arrival, the bird population runs amok. Suddenly, the townsfolk face a massive avian onslaught, with the feathered fiends inexplicably attacking people all over Bodega Bay.
Good. Whoever wrote that was being a little nasty, I think.
Probably someone on IMDb.
Probably.
Let's...
Okay, we have visited... Have we visited any Alfred Hitchcock on
the podcast? I'm not
I
sure.
don't think so. You have seen North by Northwest?
Yes.
Rear Window?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it that's on the shelf, I think. Plus a bunch of Alfred Hitchcock Presents TV series. But yes, The Birds has been a glaring omission from my viewing history and missing from yours as well. Who knows what we're in for? Well, you just told us.
I did, yes.
Let's find out how much that holds up by watching the film, and then we'll come back and share some thoughts on the flip side.
Turn to side B.
Mongrel, That was bad.
It was.
Really bad.
Why'd you do that?
Don't know. So, what did you think?
This is going to be a bit rough on a film considered a classic.
Yes.
Because I didn't find it particularly scary.
Mm-hmm.
I laughed in a couple of places that I probably wasn't supposed to.
I did notice that.
It's tough. I don't think that I got the intended effect from this film.
I wonder whether that has a lot to do with the aging of the effects.
They have not aged well, no.
Well, no. Probably 90% of them haven't. I did feel a sense of peril through it, and knowing full well that I was being fooled into feeling that, but I did feel a level of it. And some of the bird attacks were pulled off quite well, all things considered. But no, it hasn't aged well. And so the suspension of disbelief was having an uphill battle there because of that.
Yeah.
It did have the traditional Alfred Hitchcock humour underlying in places, which I found impressive. What I didn't find impressive was the ending.
Yeah, it just ends.
It was like Monty Python and the Holy Grail ending. It was,
apparently, Hitchcock cut 10 pages just off the end.
Okay.
And so that's where the film ends.
Because, I thought all through the film, the escape vehicle was a cloth top convertible, and I was absolutely certain that would be ripped to shreds, and it was being set up for being ripped to shreds in that last desperate attempt to escape the town. But no, it didn't happen.
No.
I wonder whether it happened in those last 10 pages, but
couldn't tell you.
And the lovebirds. Were they the cause of all of this? Don't
know. Couldn't tell you.
That's the interesting thing. There were weird things happening, and there are certain films where that were like Groundhog Day, for example.
Yeah.
Where once you knew weird things were happening, that film was made in such a way that there was no explanation needed. But this hinted at possible reasons why, but didn't. It left those unanswered, and so yeah, I don't know.
The various bird attacks I found more annoying than scary, because they went on a bit.
They did,
and they're very noisy. And it just goes on and on.
It did become unrelenting on occasion. I'm at a bit of a loss.
Yeah,
I could recognise how well put together it was, and putting it into its time frame, it probably would have been. Sitting in a cinema, having that hit you
in a dark cinema, very big screen.
Yep.
The sound of it surrounding you.
Yep. In all its glorious mono.
But we didn't have that. We had a TV screen.
Yep.
At a reasonable size, in reasonable lighting, with mono just coming from the television.
And we didn't have it particularly loud.
No.
So that was a godsend, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm a bit perplexed by it.
Yeah.
But again, still recognise that what he was aiming for, and I suspect that he achieved it. If that... placing myself back in time and in that cinema. But still, that ending was just sort of...
I think the thing that I laughed at that I probably should not have laughed at was the fire. The gas station fire. Trundling across towards the gas station, and we just intercut to still shots of the female lead looking in shock. It reminded me of Thomas the Tank Engine.
Right.
It's the sort of thing, the sort of shots that would appear in an episode of Thomas the Tank Engine.
Right.
Just shocked looking in one direction, cut back to the fire, shocked looking in another.
Yes. There was a definite disconnect between the reaction, knowing full well that they're not actually watching what is being edited into what's being shown as happening, I guess.
Oh.
We have watched The Birds.
We have watched The Birds.
And I'm glad that we did.
Yeah.
It is now well and truly in context, and I can still imagine walking out of the cinema and being unnerved by birds. I hate to think how many seagulls they must have clipped the wings of to stop them from flying off that lawn, or whether they gassed them, or... But I'm pretty sure they probably clipped the wings so that they couldn't actually take off, because you could see some of them trying to, but not being able to. Okay.
I do feel a little bad being hard on this film, but I didn't get much out of it. It didn't work for me. There's some well shot bits apart from that one, but it
very much felt like an extended... I don't think you've seen any of Alfred Hitchcock Presents episodes.
No, I don't think
right,
so.
It very much felt like an extended Alfred Hitchcock Presents episode, with a decent budget. A lot of those have inexplicable things happen, and sort of fish out of water type of situations. And I don't have anything else to say about that either, other than, yes, I'm glad that we watched it, and it is behind us now.
It is.
And will I be unnerved by having birds sitting on the wire above me? Maybe.
No more than usual.
No more. Only that fear of them having pooped on me or something. Yes. All right then.
Yeah.
Right. We'll end our segment abruptly, like the movie just did, and we'll move on to... Well, we don't have anything to discuss in an unnamed segment today, so we'll move straight on to this segment.
Pick a film for next week so we can go to bed. Right, let's
And it's your turn.
Yes, let's move swiftly past that somewhat muted post-film segment. That was...
I think we were both just a little shell-shocked. I don't know whether I was expecting more from it, or...
I think I was expecting a lot more from it,
okay.
and I didn't get any of it.
Yep, fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't think my expectation was as high as that.
I've been spending the past week not sleeping well instead of getting anxious about the film, and so I've come into it basically cold.
Yep.
And yeah, that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we're in this segment now.
We are.
We've stopped talking about the film.
We have. And it's still your turn.
Yeah, it's still my turn.
And all of those sleepless nights have given you the opportunity to come up with a solid choice rather than having to resort to the random selection, of course. You've picked one, haven't you?
Last week,
Yep.
we watched Finding Neverland.
We did.
Which is a film that stars Johnny Depp.
It does.
It does. And next week, we are going to watch a different film starring Johnny Depp.
Okay.
It's from 2011.
Right.
It's animated.
Uh-huh. Okay. Is it still a Tim Burton?
It's not a Tim Burton.
Oh, does it involve a certain lizard-type creature?
It may do, yes. It's directed by Gore Verbinski.
Mm-hmm.
It was produced by Nickelodeon Movies.
I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah.
Right. If it is the film that I think it is.
Johnny Depp is Rango.
Oh, cool. Cool. I haven't watched that in a long time.
It has been a while for me too.
And I do remember having quite positive feelings about it.
It's a weird little film.
It is a weird little film. Cool. Okay. So, do you have a plot synopsis that you can throw at our dear listener who may be completely unaware of this little animated film?
I'm going to try a different source in a moment because the blurb on the back is 100% self-congratulatory.
Right, okay.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
When Rango, a lost family pet, accidentally winds up in the gritty, gunslinging town of Dirt, the less than courageous lizard suddenly finds he stands out. Welcomed as the last hope the town has been waiting for, new Sheriff Rango is forced to play his new role to the hilt.
Excellent.
That's Rango, next week on Cellulose Free.
We hope that you can join us next week when we watch Rango on Cellulose Free. But until then, we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
You have been listening to Cellulose Free. Your hosts were Colin, who produces and edits the show, and Thomas, who makes the artwork and music. Cellulose Free is recorded in the Deranged Cat Studios in scenic Tasmania, Australia. We keep track of our extensive physical media collection through My Movies, which we highly recommend. You can find links to that, as well as other places you can find us, in the show notes. Cellulose Free is a Hi Hello production.
No, I can't look at it on Stan. I'm not logged in on Stan.
I can bring it up.
Jingle wingle. Just whoosh. Just whoosh. Just whooshy whoosh.
Just wish.
Just whoosh whoosh shrimp.
Jingle
shrimp.
Just wish. Just wish.
Here, fishy, 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 fishy.
You fishy.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Chic socialite. Chic socialite.